The easing of restrictions comes as more people roll up their sleeves to get the vaccine. Here are 3 things to know tonight. More than 6 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have now been administered in Georgia. At least 35% of Georgians have gotten at least one of their doses. Meanwhile, 25% of the state is now fully vaccinated. And for perspective, nearly 32% of all Americans are fully vaccinated. That's according to the CDC. Starting tomorrow, all 8 GEMA-run mass vaccination sites will allow you to drive up to get a vaccine with no appointment. But that's only for the Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine. The sites are also giving the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine, but you have to make an appointment for that one. They're no longer offering first-dose appointments for the Pfizer vaccine because the sites will close May 21st when their contract is up. And this weekend, Delta pulling back on the elbow room, allowing passengers to book middle seats once again. The move comes as the head of Delta's in-flight operations estimates almost 25% of Delta passengers have received at least one dose of the coronavirus vaccine. Delta is the last of all major U.S. carriers to begin selling middle seats again.